So Haley, gotta tell you a dad joke.
Okay.
Why is Peter Pan always flying?
Why?
He never lands.
Maybe you should just stick with the MoneyWise FAQs.
You're probably right.
Sean, what are some of the key considerations when managing a payroll for a rapidly growing business?
It's a really great question, and I'll start by saying we need to think about what we mean by rapidly growing. Are we talking about rapidly growing on a national basis, out of the area where you operate, or are we talking about rapidly expanding where you are, where you're adding a lot of employees in one location? Both have different challenges.
Well, what are some of the components when you are growing into different states?
Yeah, first and foremost, when you're growing into multiple states, you want to make sure that you are registered to do business in that state. So you'll definitely want to check out those regulations. If you're just going to have an employee who is a remote worker for you who's working there, you may not have to register to do business. You may just have to register in order to have an employee. So to be able to do withholding for that employee and unemployment. If the employee is going to actually be earning revenue for you in that state, you may have a tax return requirement for income for the business. So you'll want to make sure that you're registered correctly with the state. Every state is different with regards to that. And then you'll want to make sure you familiarize yourself with the wage and hour laws in each of those states.
So what would be some of the components, most important components, if you're rapidly growing in your area just with employees?
When you're adding 5 or 10 or 15 employees at a time, you'll want to make sure that you're doing a really good job on the recruiting end, that you're following the same process over and over and over again. One of the things that we have seen time and again is that if you're hiring in a hurry, you maybe shortcut some of the good practices you would have in recruiting because you're just trying to get jobs filled. If you do that, you run the risk of maybe, alienating a potential hire or, not always following the procedures because you think, I've got to get this job done today. You just want to be super, super consistent on what you do. So you want to make sure that you're onboarding well. We would recommend in this day and age that you're using an electronic onboarding system so that you can collect all that important payroll information before they ever work their first shift, so that if they only stay one shift, right, then you've already got all of the necessary information to be able to pay them and to send them their W-2 information at the end of the year.
For both situations, is there resources to reach besides your payroll company, which of course, and what kind of resources on both would you advise people to reach out to if they end up in those situations?
Yeah, we often talk about unemployment when we talk about the taxes that you have to pay. You have to pay your unemployment tax, but most of those agencies are actually called the Employment Commission, right? In Virginia, it's the Virginia Employment Commission. Your Employment Commission, your Department of Wage and Hour, your Department of Labor, depending on what state you're in, is a great resource for hiring folks, for what the right reporting is for those folks, for when you might have tax liability, for any of the things you might need to consider to make sure that you are well managing that situation.
Thanks, Sean. I think that's going to be some great information for clients and people looking to either grow their business or in that situation already.
Thanks, Bobby Joe. If you have questions about this or any other payroll-related issues, please check out our website, sign up for our newsletter, or follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube.
Also, feel free to stop by the office or give us a call and speak with one of us directly. We'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions.
My name is Sean.
My name is Bobby.
And this has been a MoneyWise FAQ.